We have all experienced that. The third phrase is heavy lifting, which means doing the most difficult or important part of the work.
Hi, Emma. Hi, everyone. I'm Jack. I often feel unsure when asking questions in English, so I really want to learn how to do it correctly today.
You're not alone, Jack. Many learners know words and grammar, but they struggle to form real questions in everyday conversations.
Yes, sometimes I know what I want to ask, but I cannot start the sentence correctly, so I just stay silent.
That's why today is important. We will learn 6 simple question words: what, where, when, who, why, and how.
That sounds very useful. I use questions every day, so learning this will really help me in real-life conversations.
Before we start, think about this. Questions are how we connect with people, get information, and keep conversations going.
That makes sense. Without questions, conversations feel incomplete and boring, like something is missing.
Let's start with what. We use it when we ask about things, ideas, or information in general.
So I can say, "What is your name?" or "What do you do?" when I want basic information about someone.
Exactly. What is one of the most common question words, and it is very important for daily English speaking.
I also notice we use what when we are surprised, like just saying what when something unexpected happens.
Perfect. Now let's talk about where. We use it when we ask about places or locations.
So I say, "Where is the bathroom?" or "Where do you live?" when I want to know a place.
Exactly. Where is always connected to location, whether it is a city, building, or direction.
I understand. So what is for information and where is for places? That is already very clear.
Yes, and in real conversations, where are you from is one of the most common and natural questions you can ask someone.
That feels easy now. I think I can already start using these questions more confidently in daily life.
Yes, Jack, askings, where are you from, is completely normal in friendly conversation. It shows interest, and most people actually enjoy answering that question.
That makes me feel better. I always thought it might be too personal, but now I understand it is just simple and friendly small talk.
Now let's talk about when. We use it to ask about time, like, when is your birthday? Or when does the movie start?
So when is always related to time. It helps me ask about schedules, plans, and events in daily life.
Exactly. When are you free? Is one of the most useful questions when you want to make plans with someone.
That is very practical. I think I will use "when are you free" a lot when talking to friends or planning meetings.
Yes, each WH word has its own job. What is for things, where is for places, and when is for time.
I like that idea. It feels like each word has a clear role, so it becomes easier to remember and use correctly.
Now let's move to who. We use it for people, like who is that or who called you?
So who is always about a person. I can also ask, "Who is your favorite teacher?" to start a friendly conversation.
Exactly. Who helps you connect with people and learn more about their opinions, experiences, and relationships.
That makes sense. It helps conversations go deeper instead of just staying at a basic level.
Now let's talk about why. This one asks for reasons like why did you do that or why do you like English?
I didn't even realize I was using it naturally before. It really helps us understand the reason behind something.
Yes, but tone is very important. Why can sound curious or serious depending on how you say it.
So if I say it softly, it sounds friendly. But if I say it sharply, it can sound a bit rude or serious.
Exactly. The word is the same, but your voice changes the meaning. That is called tone or intonation.
That is very interesting. I never thought voice could change the feeling of a simple question word like that.
Now, the last one is how. It asks about the way something happens, like how do you make coffee? Or how are you?
So, how is about the process or method of doing something, not a person, place, or time.
Exactly. And how is very powerful for learning English because you can ask, how do I say this? Or how do I spell that?
That is very useful. I think asking how questions will help me improve my English much faster.
Yes, learners who ask more how questions always improve faster because they stay curious and keep practicing.
I like that idea. Just one question can really change how someone learns and grows in English.
Exactly. And I once had a student who was very quiet, but everything changed when she asked just one simple question in class.
Yes, Jack, asking questions opens doors. It shows you are interested, engaged, and helps you understand things better in real conversations and learning situations.
That makes sense. I feel like when I ask questions, I remember things more clearly, and I understand the lesson much faster than just listening.
Exactly. Now let's quickly review. What is for things and information, where for places, when for time, who for people, why for reasons, and how for ways.
I think I got it now. It feels like a simple system when you break it down like that, not as complicated as I thought before.
Yes, Jack, you summarized it perfectly. That is exactly the idea behind WH questions in natural English conversations.
I feel proud of myself right now. I actually understand something that used to confuse me a lot before.
Great job. Now imagine you are at an airport in a new country and you don't know where to go or what to do. Great job. Now imagine you are at an airport in a new country and you don't know where to go or what to do.
That sounds stressful, but I guess I can use WH questions to survive in that situation and find help easily.
Exactly. You can say, "Where is the exit?" or "How do I get to my hotel?" and solve your problem quickly.
So every problem in real life can be solved by asking the right WH question. That is very powerful.
Yes, think of it as your English toolkit. Each question word helps you in a different real life situation.
I like that idea. It makes learning English feel more practical and less like memorizing rules.
Now let's talk about structure. A WH question is a WH word plus, helping verb plus, subject plus, main verb.
So I say, where are you going? Not you are going where, because the helping verb moves after the WH word.
Exactly. That small change makes it a correct English question and sounds natural to native speakers.
I understand. The helping verb like are, do, or did comes right after the WH word.
Yes, and once you practice this, your brain starts building questions automatically without thinking too much.
I also noticed who can be used in different ways, like who is she and who did you call?
Good observation. One asks about the subject, and the other asks about the object in the sentence.
That feels a bit advanced, but I think I just need more practice by speaking out loud.
Exactly, Jack. Speaking out loud helps your ear and brain understand patterns much faster than silent reading.
I will definitely practice more. I want my questions to sound natural and confident in real conversations.
Great. One more tip. You can combine WH words with nouns like what time, what color, or what kind.
Oh, so I can say, what time does the train leave? Or what kind of music do you like?
Perfect. That makes your questions more specific and very natural in everyday English communication.
Now, let's learn some polite ways to start questions. These help you sound respectful and natural when speaking to strangers or in formal situations.
That sounds really useful. Sometimes I feel my questions sound too direct, so I want to learn how to make them softer.
First, we use excuse me before a question. For example, excuse me, where is the bathroom? It sounds polite and respectful.
So I should always add excuse me first when I ask someone I don't know. That makes the conversation feel more polite.
Yes. Next, we can say, I was wondering, to make a question softer and less direct in formal or polite situations.
Like, I was wondering when the store closes. That feels more gentle than just asking directly.
Exactly. It is very useful when you talk to strangers, teachers, or in professional conversations.
I like that. It makes me feel less nervous when I need to ask something important.
Another phrase is, could you tell me, for example, could you tell me where the nearest bank is?
So instead of just saying, where is the bank? I can make it more polite and natural with that phrase.
Yes, Jack. The meaning is the same, but the tone becomes much more respectful and friendly.
That is a small change, but it really improves how I sound in English conversations.
Next, we use what do you mean when we don't understand something and want clarification.
I use that a lot in class. It helps me ask for explanation without sounding rude.
That makes sense. It feels like a helpful question, not a negative one.
Finally, how come is a casual way to ask why, usually used with friends or people you are close with.
So instead of saying, why didn't you call me? I can say, how come you didn't call me?
Yes, but remember it is informal. You should not use it in formal situations like interviews.
Got it. I will use it only in friendly conversations, not in serious or professional settings.
Now let's quickly review everything. We learned what, where, when, who, why, and how each one has a different job.
What for things, where for places, when for time, who for people, why for reasons, and how for methods or ways.
Perfect summary, Jack. We also learned that tone and polite phrases can completely change how your question sounds.
Yes, I understand now that asking questions is not weak. It actually shows confidence and intelligence.
Exactly. People who ask more questions improve faster because they stay curious and keep learning.
I feel more confident now. I will try to ask more questions in English every day.
Great idea. Now we want to challenge our listeners. Write one WH question in the comments below.
It can be any question you want. Just practice and don't be afraid of making mistakes.
Remember, every question you ask is real English practice and a step toward fluency.
Thank you for listening to Talk Ema. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep growing your English every day.
We'll see you again tomorrow with a new lesson. Until then, stay curious and keep asking questions.
Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow and keep improving your English step by step.